The Tesla stock just keeps climbing and climbing. And now, Tesla is among the top 10 of the most valuable companies by market cap. But when will it be number 1? Then, of course, we will take a look at the current progress of the Gigafactory construction at Berlin, Austin, and Shanghai.
And at Shanghai, it appears that the first Model Y trial units have rolled off the assembly line. Then more details on the Lucid Air, a bit about Nikola, Elon on electric aircraft, a bit on hyperloop, and lastly, of course, the Neuralink presentation. A lot to talk about as always, so stay tuned.
The Tesla stock is out of control. It just keeps climbing, climbing, and climbing. Tesla shorters are already all poor now and have to find new jobs. So, why is Tesla out of control? And where will this all lead? At the time of recording this video here, the Tesla stock is pre-stock split at $2,200, which means that Tesla has a market capitalization of $420 billion, making it the 10th most valuable company in the world, right up there with companies such as Tencent, Amazon, Microsoft, and Apple. The market capitalization is, by the way, calculated by multiplying the value of the stock with the number of shares in existence. Apple is with a $2.1 trillion market cap on the first spot and is a factor of 5 above Tesla. So if Tesla was to be number 1 and overtake Apple, the stock would be at $11,000. But is such a notion even realistic? For that, we have to understand that Tesla is not a classical company as we know them, but it's a highly disruptive company. This means that Tesla is eating away market share of other competitor companies at a rapid pace. And we also have to understand that Tesla is not only a car company, but also an energy provider, a solar cell producer, a software company, even an insurance company.
So Tesla's competitors are not only the legacy car makers, but also energy companies, oil companies, gas and coal companies, and car insurance companies. It keeps disrupting all these markets, and the only thing holding Tesla back is the lack of factories they have. But as we know, Tesla is working on that. They are currently building 3 factories all over the world, which will raise the production capacity from currently around 500,000 per year to around 2 million per year by late 2021. Elon said that the goal is to have 15 to 20 gigafactories around the world. Now let's conservatively assume that one gigafactory has an average output of 500,000 cars per year. This will result in 10 million cars per year production capacity, which is as much as the largest car makers such as Volkswagen and Toyota are currently producing. And since this will directly cannibalize their sales, we are quite sure that by 2030, once Tesla will have all these factories, Tesla will be on rank 1 regarding car production. If they increase production output at their gigafactories even more, even 15 million cars per year by 2030 are possible. This is exponential growth, and many keep underestimating it. If Tesla will be able to also launch their robotaxi fleet, they will disrupt another industry, namely the rideshare companies. This will be another huge source of income for Tesla. And let's see what Elon will reveal on Battery Day, but we think it will be pretty epic and further cement Tesla's lead over the competitors. So, Tesla the most valuable company in the world? Yes, we are pretty sure that by 2030, Tesla will be on the top spot because it just will disrupt so many different industry sectors. Therefore, a stock price of around $2,000 is still cheap if you think long-term for the next 10 years. Blah, blah, we are not financial investors, blah, 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 own risk, blah, 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 do your own research.
And please consider subscribing to our channel, because we are one of the few channels out there that not only covers spaceflight, but also all other disruptive technologies, including electric cars. However, the YouTube algorithm doesn't like to promote channels with such a broad range of topics. So we really need your help so that we can reach more people with our videos. So what is the current construction state of all the Tesla Gigafactories all around the world? In the latest drone shots from Tobias Lind, you can see that the drive unit building looks all but finished now. And please also go and check out Tobias Lind's channel, because he's really doing great work. And construction on the main factory building has now started in all earnest. The paint shop structure is basically finished now. The construction speed at Giga Berlin is so high that we estimate the first Model Y trial units for March 2021. Over at Giga Austin, progress is even more insane, since here the whole area now has been flattened and drained of ponds. Remember that only a few weeks ago, we still had many ponds here, but now everything is flat and dry. You can see that the foundation is now applied broadly, which means that work on the concrete foundation layer will start very soon. We think Giga Austin will be finished much sooner than most people expect, maybe even by early 2021. And at Giga Shanghai, lastly, work on the exterior of the Model Y expansion is finished, and work on the interior also seems to be really advanced, since the first made-in-China Model Y trial units have already been spotted. Furthermore, the massive hiring ramp shows that the full-scale Model Y production will actually still start this year in Shanghai, as crazy as it sounds.
In other news, we now have more details on the Lucid Air, the production version of which is going to be revealed on the 9th of September. As we saw in last week's spy shots, the production version is basically going to look exactly like the concept car version. It now has been revealed that the 517-mile EPA estimated range will come from a 113 kilowatt-hours battery pack. 113 kilowatt-hours, really not bad, Lucid. Absolutely not bad.
In other news, it seems that Nikola has now started a bit of work on their future factory near Phoenix, Arizona, and the construction speed is, shall we say, not extremely impressive. More like, let's just do the bare minimum needed so that people cannot accuse us that we are not doing anything at all kind of speed. That's at least the impression we get. Hopefully they will speed up at some point, because at this pace, the factory will be finished in 3 years at best. But at least, the CEO of Nikola, Trevor Milton, seems to be quite friendly to his employees, because he's giving his first 50 employees some of his own stock shares, which are currently worth $233 million, which is a fine move, we have to say. On this channel here, we want to keep neutral on Nikola. We know that the company is being brutally bashed a lot, but if they can really manage to deliver what they promise, then we want to give them a fair chance, of course. And every company that wants to produce vehicles of any kind that are not running on fossil fuels is a good thing. Even though you of course know our stance on hydrogen. But hey, still much better than gasoline or diesel. Now regarding electric air taxis and electric airplanes, Elon again tweeted something highly interesting, namely that a 400 watt-hours per kilogram energy density battery produced in high volume is not far away anymore, probably already in 3 to 4 years. This means that batteries with such high energy densities that can be mass-produced are only 3 to 4 years away, and 400 watt-hours per kilogram is, as we have mentioned a few times already, the threshold where electric aircraft really becomes viable. This is not only for electric supersonic VTOL passenger jets, but also VTOLs such as the Lilium jet, with a range of 300 kilometers and a flight time of 1 hour, will become viable by that time. We are very sure that on Tesla's Battery Day, on September 22nd, Elon will lay out a clear path towards achieving those high battery energy densities. That will of course be perfect for future electric airplanes and electric air taxis. But we are also talking about electric cars with an insane range of 1,000 kilometers or even more.
Hyperloop, meanwhile, sees a bit of legislation progress in Canada with a feasibility study for a 300-kilometer-long Hyperloop linking the cities of Calgary and Edmonton. Transport has signed a memorandum of understanding with the government of Alberta, and they now will start preliminary work on a test track. Construction on the real track is slated to start in 2025. Now, quite a few engineering challenges will of course have to be overcome, but as always we say, the only real obstacles are given by nature. As long as no law of physics prevents something to be built, it can be built. Even though of course many people still believe it's not possible. But then again, many people also believe that reusable rockets are not possible, so yeah. Naysayers gonna naysay. And now finally Neuralink. Wow, the presentation was... Elon gave us an update on the Neuralink brain-machine interface, and it has been significantly updated since the last presentation a year ago. The new device is a lot smaller, and what is really important, that the insertion is now completely reversible. This means that once you get a Neuralink implant, you can get it out again and will see absolutely no difference to before. This is really important, and in our opinion, it's huge. It's a game changer. And of course, the medical applications for Neuralink are immense. Make paralyzed people walk again, deaf people hear again, blind people see again. Also for psychological disorders, it might help to cure depression or anxiety disorders, which are much more widespread than we would think, with about 10% of the worldwide population suffering from such disorders. Elon showed a working prototype on a pig and it worked perfectly. It can read all the information from the pig's brain. Neuralink will be read and write, by the way. Read means you will be able to control, for example, smartphones or computers via thought, and you will be able to communicate telepathically with other Neuralink holders, with instant translation, for example. Star Trek Universal Translator, anyone? Write means Neuralink will be able to write commands. You can thus train your brain towards new thought patterns, download information, expand your intelligence and knowledge, and overcome the aforementioned psychological disorders. And in the far future, it will of course help us to merge with the AI overmind, which is, we'd say, certainly a nice bonus. We as transhumanists will certainly get one. Because we think humans are still apes. We run on software that is tens of thousands of years old from the Stone Age. And we think that it's high time that we finally receive a software update. And in case you have missed the last week's disruption report, where we talk a bit more in detail about the Lucid Air, you can watch it right here.
So thanks for watching today's show, and I would say, on to the future.
Perfect.
Our favorite outros.
So relaxed.